So I got there, and then she checked my details. She checked the screen. She was like, I see you applied already. You applied before. I was like, yeah, 2018 and 2019. I was not prepared for those questions. So it completely threw me off. And the security man was like, oh, Charlie, Charlie, they go be that. I said, oh, I they go, I they go. In this video, I want to share my visa interview experience. If you are watching from another country and you're wondering where I'm from Ghana, West Africa. And this is how my interview went. And this is how I was able to get my visa to come to the US to study for my master's. I'm doing a master's degree program in agribusiness and applied economics at North Dakota State University. So NDSU, that is where I currently am. Now, my interview, I was supposed to have the interview so I come for spring semester 2023, that is this year. So my interview was scheduled for the 3rd of January. Actually, I requested for an emergency because of the time that I had. It was a very short time. And I think because of the COVID-19 backlog that they had, they they tend to push the interview dates very far. So like if you are going to book in 2023, we are currently in March, right? 2023 of March. You could get a date somewhere February 2024 as your next date. That means that you have to request for an emergency appointment immediately. And one of the good things is that if you are a student, you are going to get approved. So that is if you have your I-20 and you've been able to pay your service fee or your MRV fee, the one that you paid to Homeland Security. If you've done that, then you can quickly expedite your interview date. So in another video, I'll show you how to book an emergency appointment. And I know people talk about date hunting for a date to go for interview and all that, but I didn't do any of those things. I was even wondering, a friend told me that I go for date hunting. I was like, no, what was that? I don't even know what it is. So apparently I learned that people have to be struggling to find a date. And that is what they call date hunting. So they are always waiting on the net to see when the closest date is available. I didn't do any of those things because all the times that I had was within the right time for me to apply for an emergency interview and go for it. So I booked mine for 3rd January 2023 because actually I delayed. Okay, so I would have gotten to 9 December, but I had 3rd January 2023. And my school was supposed to officially open on the 9th of January, which was a Monday. So 3rd was like Tuesday. No, 3rd was like somewhere around that date. Okay. Yeah, somewhere around Tuesday. So I got the dates there and I went for the interview. I booked my time at 8:30 because I didn't want to oversleep. If you know you're a deep sleeper, then put your time far behind. Don't put it too close. So they had a 6:30 a.m. option to come for the interview. They have 7:30, 8:30, 9, and 9:30. I think it ends around 9:30. I'm not so sure. So I chose 8:30 and I went there. And when I got there, everyone there, almost everyone, I can see 99% of the people that came there were students because it was an academic season that everybody was trying to enter for spring, either spring or fall. And there were people, yeah, I met people, chat with them. Some were coming for fall, some were coming for spring. So we entered the place. It was all tensed. Everyone is quiet. When you go there, everyone coming for the interview is so quiet. Everyone is meditating on what they are going to say. They are rehearsing their answers in their head. But you also don't want to sound like a robot. You want to sound like someone who knows why. It's like you're talking to a friend, but you know why you want to go to the school. You know why you choose the school and all that. So it's just like chatting with a friend. Yeah, but at the same time, you still have to know what you are going to say off head. So I got there and then I got this woman, this pretty lady. That was my interviewer, my viewer, and then not the famous bald white man, not the famous bald white man. I had a younger lady now, and she called me to the desk. I went there, and my heart was beating so fast. When you get there, Charlie, your heart will be beating boom, 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 boom. So I was trying to stay calm. Just trying to stay like Relax, relax. All is well, all is well. So, and in the course of talking, you will tend to have shaky voice because you are scared. Sometimes it's normal. So I was having a shaky voice a little bit, but then I tried to. The shaky voice came at the end. I'll tell you about it. We are still within the story. So I got there and then she checked my details. I had applied for 2018. I was rejected. I applied for masters in 2018. I was rejected. So I'm an old man. If I'm applying for masters in 2018, I'm an old man. And then I applied for 2019. I was also rejected. So I had two rejections in a row. So from 2019 up until 2022, I told myself I will not even apply for school. So something else happened. A very personal reason I will not share here. Something happened that was like, see, I'm going to go back to school. So that's what made me apply for 2022. So I got there and then she checked my details. She checked the screen. She was like, I see you applied already. You applied before. I was like, yeah, 2018 and 2019. And then she was like, okay, I see you're going to do business administration and all that. Okay, so why are you going to do agricultural economics now? And then I explained how we had a farm. You see, the thing is that whatever you are doing must be linked with what you want to do. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense for them to give you the visa. Like, if, let's say, you're a web developer, but what you are going to do is civil engineering, it's like what you are currently doing and what you want to do don't really match. So, why should they give you the visa? So, you have to be very, very careful. You have to make sure that what you are going to do matches with what you are doing now. So, we have a family farm, a family cocoa farm, and all that. So, diverting into agricultural economics was okay. And then she was like, okay, I told her about how we have a cocoa farm. I want to be able to come back and then work on the cocoa farm and expand it, increase production by tapping into that knowledge base that North Dakota has as a state because they are well vested agriculture. It's like one of the best agricultural states in the whole US, right? They are top sunflower producers, top honey producers, top flaxseed producers, and all that. So I want to be able to tap into their rich knowledge base. So that is why I chose cultural economics. All right. So she listened and apparently there was an issue I had some time back. Not really an issue. There was something that occurred with back in 1990 something because I was born in Italy. Okay, so something that happened. Why did my parents go to Italy? All those things were part of the interview. Meanwhile, it's like I'm coming to I'm coming to US for a master's degree. What has it got to do with you being in Italy, born in Italy, coming back? When did I come back? How old was I? What did my parents going to do in Italy? Like all those things, you must be prepared because it threw me off. I did not prepare to be asked those. I was not prepared for those questions, so it completely threw me off. And I was able to give an answer. And then later, I even went home and asked my mom that, was this the reason why I went to Italy? She was like, oh, yeah, that's the reason. I was like, okay, that's fine, makes sense. So she asked that she also checked my financials, the I-20 financials I was talking about in my other video. If you haven't watched it, you can watch it. So she looked at the I-20 financials and she moved her hand over my I-20 and she was like, I see you have a stipend of so and so amount. I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay, can you explain to me what this entails? I was like, okay, it's divided over 16 months. I'll be paid so and so over 16 months and all that. She was like, oh, okay, all right, that's fine. And then she was typing as they do. They keep typing, so they are typing what you are saying. And after typing, she told me that she took the a sheet from her left side. She was like, she started writing Friday 11 a.m. Come for your passport, blah 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 blah. She took my passport and she kept it. That place, if you go there, you come back with your passport, it means you didn't get it. So once we were sitting in front of the embassy, people were coming out. They were coming out to their passport. So once you come out with your passport, I knew that Charlie, you didn't get the visas. And so she gave me the thing. I looked at her. I was like, okay, all right, thank you, thank you. My heart was beating. I was like, God, I'm coming to America. When she gave me the sheets, I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was shaking. I couldn't even say thank you properly because like it was a dream come true after so many rejections. In fact, I had two academic rejections and I had one that was a family rejection. Okay. That was 2010. we were rejected as a family. We applied for a visa 2018. I personally got rejected. 2019 got rejected. It was in 2022, 2023 that I got accepted. So I was walking out with confidence. I was beaming with smiles. And I got outside. People were still sitting there waiting for their turn. And I did this. Yeah. And some of them were laughing. They knew that I got in my visa. And the security man was like, "Oh, Charlie, they go with that." I said, "Oh, I they go." And I got to where the security entrance. So like, "Charlie, you get time?" I said, "Oh, I get time." He said, "Hey, why today be you pay you get a visa or what?" Then they rejected me, bro. I said, "Oh, Charlie, be great." So, but there was someone else before me that I saw actually had a visa. We were just a few people. If you Now, this is not to scare you, but the reality was that out of probably about 100 people, I could say that maybe 8 had their visas approved that morning. Not more than 10% had their visas approved that morning. That's the reality. But it's not always the case, because there are days that a lot of people get accepted. There are days a lot of people get rejected. There are days that is a moderate share. So you never know. You never know. So I was so happy, and that was my experience. And one takeaway I would say is that make sure you have funding. Make sure you have funding, and also rely on God. Rely on God's purpose, because sometimes it's just not time. Sometimes it's time, and if it's time, everything runs smoothly. I mean, I was getting my approvals, getting my stipend. That was the first time I even had a full scholarship. And emergency request came so fast. I got a date. I didn't do any date hunting, and I'm telling you that when it's time, it's really time. It's really time. Yeah, yeah, it's really time. So if you are still waiting to go for your interview, keep praying about it and prepare. Most especially prepare. Watch videos how to answer this, so that you don't, in quote, make a fool of yourself in front of the visa officer. Okay, so you can also join my Telegram page. I'll be sharing with you guys. I'll be having mock interviews to teach you guys how I answered my questions, how I went about it, the approach, how I composed myself. It was only at the latter part that I was shaking, because I was really excited I'd gotten the visa. But from the beginning, I was able to keep my composure. All right, so we'll learn about all these things on my page, so you can feel free to join. All right, so that has been my experience. Thank you for sticking around up until this point. It's been 12 minutes in the video, and you are still watching. So thank you, and also subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in my next video. All right, bye.